Hello and welcome to Team Reptile Adventures. Recently I was approached by someone who said she really enjoyed our show, which obviously I really appreciated. She also said that she thought that we must be really lucky because we always find the animals we're looking for. Well, I explained to her that sometimes it seems that way, but we're not always quite that lucky. In fact, I pointed out that we had an episode where we were in the UP looking for moose, and unfortunately we searched and searched and we never found one. But she really made me think. I thought about, maybe our viewers at home might appreciate some of our misadventures where we go out and we don't always find what we're looking for. So I found one good example for you, which was a search for some frogs at night, and we went out and we were sure we were going to find them, and things didn't quite work out the way we had hoped. Well, we're out now at Shiawassee Basin in Springfield. We've been trying to track some of the breeding frogs right now, and with the temperatures dropping, as you can tell by the way we're dressed, it's a great night for chorus frogs and spring peepers. So this is about as deep as this vernal pool gets. In the summer, this is completely dry in this area. But it's a perfect habitat for these chorus frogs and spring peepers that we're hearing right now because of the fact that it will dry out. There's no fish in here. There's no real aquatic life that's going to be a threat to the little eggs and the tadpoles that these chorus frogs and spring peepers are going to lay. I searched around the vernal pool for signs of life, but so far wasn't having any luck. It was still early April and very cold, so although there was definitely some frog breeding activity going on, I was having a really tough time keeping the Team Reptile members motivated. To the point where Maureen, Whitney, and Amy started joking about coming up with Team Reptile in-action trading cards.
Look like Charlie's Angels. Get Courtney over there.
Let's just walk right down a little bit, go over, because this leads to a smaller pool, and I think I've been hearing them. You guys probably just heard them right there. I think we'll have a better shot. We decided to head down the trail to go to a smaller vernal pool, but before we left, I decided I was going to take a couple scoops from the debris that lay in the bottom of this pond.
Have I pointed out yet that it's about 35 degrees right now? It's very chilly, and the frogs are very active at this time, especially chorus frogs and spring peepers. You'll hear them a lot on these cold nights. Actually, the chorus frogs, the warmer it gets, the less they're going to make their calls. So on a night like tonight, it's fantastic, except for the fact that I'm freezing, and so is the rest of Team Reptile.
Well, now we're just waiting for it to get dark. We're hearing a couple peepers, but a few minutes ago we heard peepers and chorus frogs in here. It's a nice small little vernal pool, easy for me to wade around in, and hopefully we'll get some good shots and find a few. But we're definitely starting to hear them around the edge. Once a few start to peep, we're going to hear more and more, just like that. If you hear the fast peeping, it means the two males are too close to each other in the territory. There's also peepers too. This is kind of neat. There's peepers that won't peep. They'll just hang out by a male, by another male. It'll be one male hanging out by the other male. The one male is peeping. The other one waits there to steal the girl, basically. As the female peeper starts to head toward the male, the one that's not peeping is like, hey, come on over, and steals her away.
Tricky. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
That's right.
As the sky grew darker, we started discussing some of the spring peepers' habits, as well as how to recognize them from other Michigan species of frogs.
Now they're back. they're definitely getting used to us being out here.
You'll never get used to
Are they
me.
smaller than the wood frog?
Yes,
How much smaller?
they're tiny. Some of them are like small as my pinky, like right here at the end of my pinky.
Spring peepers
Tiny
are?
little frogs, yep.
Oh.
Are those ones we found last year up on Salamander Hill?
Yep.
They have the little X on their back.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the summers, the peepers and all that will move up on the drier land. You'll find them with the wood frogs. They'll all move away from the water. I decided it was finally dark enough for me to use my light in the pond to search. The light not only helps me to find critters, but also helps me to see the bottom of the pool so that I don't step on any animals. In fact, as extra precaution for the animals, we decided that only one of us would walk out into the water. Although I wasn't having any luck finding any peepers or chorus frogs, I was able to find something that we didn't expect to see in this pond. I just took a scoop out there and was, we're trying to get the spring peepers right now and the chorus frogs, and I took a scoop and I was actually really surprised to find a juvenile eastern newt. And the reason I'm surprised is because we were out here last summer, same location, it was completely dried up. Which, for it to completely dry up, would mean that this little guy, who last summer would have been still in the larval stage, which means they breathe with their gills, it would have needed water for oxygen. So to find him in this juvenile stage like this, just it completely catches me off guard. I never would have expected to find one in here. But a great catch. Probably, I would say, by the end of this summer, he'll be moving out onto the land. He'll be in the terrestrial stage, and that's when they turn that bright red color. And they'll come on the land for a year or two. And once they've been on land for a year or two, they'll go back into the water, and they'll spend the rest of their life in the water. They may even possibly develop gills again, but chances are they won't. It will just get larger and be in what is considered the breeding stage of the eastern newt.
He's really cute.
He's a newt. But I'm going to get this little guy back in the water. And now the peepers are calling again. We'll see if we can catch one.
As long as you don't move your hand.
Neuter. That's what we're gonna name them.
Neuter! Oh! Neuter took a spill! After we let the newt go, I decided to take a couple more scoops from the pond. As I searched through the leaf litter I had brought up, it began to rain. That's not good for the camera either, is it?
Nope.
With all this rain.
Nope.
We knew the rain was not going to be good for our equipment, so although we had yet to find some spring peepers or chorus frogs, we decided we better call it a night. Okay, so our search for the spring peepers and chorus frogs didn't yield exactly the findings that we had hoped, but at least we did find that eastern newt. We went back about 2 weeks later to that same area, and we had a great night with spring peepers and chorus frogs. One of the other questions that people often ask us is if the only reason we go out and look for animals is just for the show. Well, the answer to that is no. In fact, long before we did the show, Team Reptile would put on community and school presentations and exhibits so that people could actually get a chance to see Michigan wildlife up close. Well, we still do a lot of these presentations and exhibits, and for us to be able to get animals for them, we need to go out and look for them. And we don't like to keep animals for too long before an exhibit or display, so we try to do it just a couple nights or a couple days before the exhibit or presentation. Well, on one night, a couple years ago, we actually had one of those nights where we went out and found every single thing we were looking for.